So we have an ADU update.
Finally.
Finally.
Hmm.
It's not done. So
There's your update.
there it is. The end? No.
We finally started on the inside.
We did. We started interior. We'll show you some shots of that. The shower is coming along. Kitchen is being put together, pieced together as we speak. I do think what I have been thinking about is I've had a few clients over the years, every now and again, when they can't find something that they want, say like, we should just build it. And I would like to tell you that we're over budget, we're over our timeline,
We're
and
over all the things.
I mean, we're only like work married, but like I feel like it could be a problem if you were trying to do this with someone you were actually married to. I think it causes some serious stress and issue. Different because it's not our primary residence, but
Also because I don't know what's happening.
also because I don't tell her anything. Anyway,
It's okay.
seems okay. So if that's how your like relationship with whoever you're gonna do it works, then maybe it would be okay. I don't know. Anyway, we had an issue with fire department having to put in sprinklers. Although you can see the street from the actual front door, but that's okay. So we had some technical issues as far as putting in fire sprinklers, and then it's an older home. The actual this is the stuff you don't want to know, like the making of the sausage. I think it's like the size of the pipe of the water meter was too small for the pressure of the sprinklers, so we might need to just spend an
Endless amounts of money
a
to
crazy amount of money to go into the street to pull a bigger pipe, like around a 1 inch or something. Great, well, whatever, bigger, cut up the street, pay to repave it, do all these things. So like $25,000 to make sure that it's not going to burn down when you could shoot a fire hose probably from the street.
From
But
the street.
I'm not actually a firefighter, so I don't know. Can't
Even though
claim
the
that.
firefighter did say that it was possible.
I think some of the rules that are ended up being like created are not created by people who actually are doing the job, but just like there have to be some sort of policy in place, which I understand. Just seems a little tedious when you're in it.
So what
We
is
will be
happening
done.
now? Like, didn't we get I told you I don't really ask and she doesn't really tell me. But I do know.
But to be fair, like when I do tell her, it's like, okay, like that's there's not a question, there's not a follow-up, there's not like, oh, but what about this? Not so like to be fair, when I do say like you can only say so many times where you're like, yeah, and then okay, that you don't go retell the story. It turns out I think we can get away with just updating our water meter, which will be way more cost effective and hopefully be able to mean that we're done in the next month to month and a half.
And we don't have to dig the street up?
As far as I know, they're waiting for the
Hey.
calculations of what is there from a fire sprinkler standpoint and what the actual, like, what is actually there. So we're waiting for the calculations from the engineer. So
Look at that. But I feel like that's another good point. If you are building something, you can't just say, okay. Like there has to be some sort of pushback.
you have to ask some questions. Yeah. I mean, when we started, they were telling us that we needed to do an historical impact report, which I think we mentioned previously, but that was like to the tune of like $20,000 plus, and finding someone that would do it, and it would take another year and a half, and like,
And you can't see the ADU from the street.
well, and it's not a historical home, like so,
Right.
like we weren't getting the benefits of a historical home from a Mills Act standpoint, so why would we? So anyhow, I think you have to be when you are doing these things, and even if you're adding on and getting permits and doing all the things, you have to be sure that you're asking some questions, because sometimes you just have to ask questions and protect yourself and your interest. Otherwise, there's some
It's going to be
slippery little
costly.
stuff that you got to ask questions about. So if you'd like to come and see it, let us know. If you need any recommendations or help, we'd be happy to help you.